was giving priority to 2020 figures for reviews, but I forgot to take size comparison shots for all the defo reels, and this one is complete and scripted, so... As alluded to in my Defereel Orga review intro, I finally stopped procrastinating on watching Attack on Titan, and now I probably love it a little too much. Figures of this franchise are kind of stupid to come by though, as most were released in 2014. One of those figures was this one, Medicom's Real Action Heroes Mikasa Ackerman. This is the first edition I managed to get, unopened for 6 years, for about $300, figure price, shipping, and import cost all included. I don't think there's a difference between first edition and not first edition. The box art is slightly different for some reason. What? SH Figuarts Kamen Rider build? It was supposed to be me. I was supposed to be the first Real Action Heroes purchase. But I wasn't in a good financial spot. The law of victory is not set. Alright then, let's start with accessories. We got a lot here. There's the hooded cloak with bendy wire, ODM gear, 2 long blades and 6 blade stubs to set into the ODM gear, 2 cables, 4 sets of hands, fists resting open, splayed and gripping, 3 faces, neutral, neutral looking left, and angry, also looking left. So if you want to pose Mikasa looking right, too bad. Then we have 2 hair options, normal and windswept. Last but certainly not least, we have a very sturdy stand, which she just needs. More on that in the articulation portion. I can't say much about the sculpt as I don't want to dismantle a cloth-covered $300 toy, but the hard plastic we do see is sculpted very well. I did pull out a foot and there's a couple cylindrical segments running into the legs, so there's that. The hair is super detailed, the boots have a lot of creases, the ODM gear looks superb, and the swords are very nicely segmented. The soles of the boots also have very nice tread sculpting. They used a good variety of cloth. The pants are denim, shirt might be denim-ish, probably just cotton. I don't know for sure. I'm not a fashionista. I'm a woman who enjoys watching men in latex suits fight each other and destroy miniature cities and get a dopamine rush from the smell of fresh vinyl. Where were we? Jacket, holsters, and most of the belts are faux leather. The belt that attaches to the ODM gear is harder plastic. Her scarf and the sash are felt and the cloak is made of cotton. On to paint. Paint is really good. We got a lot of shading on the boots and ODM gear. The swords and spare blades have gunmetal gray with a hard transition to lighter gray on the sharpened sides. Hair is matte black, faces and hands are standard anime skin tone. Eyes I think are decals. They're too good. Open mouth has mouth colors. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say here. Clothing, we have a standard belt brown for the belts. Sash is about the same color, scarf is obviously maroon, pants are a bit off-white, and the shirt is more pure white. The jacket is orange with Scout insignia decals on the front left pocket and the back. The cloak is a nice green fabric with a Scout's decal. On to articulation. The head is on a ball joint and can bobble around. Arms have a good range of motion with elbow hinges, what feels like a swivel ball combo in the shoulders, and ball pegs on the wrists. There is one joint for ab crunch and it doesn't move much. I think at this size and price point they could easily do 2 articulation cuts. It also doesn't twist much and makes a creepy sound when I try, so that's a nope. Legs have swivel hinges at the hips and hinges at the knees. The feet I don't like. The feet are just on hinges and can only move back and forth and spin around. Am I just spoiled by Tamashii ankle joints? Maybe, but that doesn't make them any less superior. Part swapping time. Starting with the cloak, there's a little clip to unhook. Then you finagle it around the figure. Hook it back up. And you can play with the bendy wire and lay the hood flat if you like. To switch hands, just pull out the current hand and pop the new one in. I'm choosing the grasping hands. We have 2 slots on the back to connect the ODM gear. Make sure all the wires are out of the way. Then there are 2 very small slots on the belt to attach the cable shooters. Make sure to keep the pressure right on top of the peg, as this tiny bit of plastic is susceptible to snapping off. And finally, the blade sheaths and air tanks attached to a ball peg on each thigh. These can take a good bit of pressure. Up next is the hilt triggers. I filmed the very first time I put this all together and decided it's best to thread the wire through the fingers first, and then push it through the more open part of the hand. And then line up the fingers into the slots. Luckily it's pretty soft plastic, and then you do the same with the other hand. Attaching quickly like a champ. Then put the 6 blade stubs in the sheaths. The sharp part of the blade needs to face down. And then connect the long blades to the hilts and we're ready to kill some titans. Next we have the cables. These are very hard plastic and they just pop into the hole on the cable shooters. Removal of the cables is a matter of securely holding the cable shooters and pulling the cables straight out. Finally, we have faces and hair. To switch both, we first pull the current hairpiece off, then the face, and then it's just a matter of putting on the new face and one of the two hair pieces. Here's some size comparisons. Mikasa will be most at home among my X Plus kaiju. First up, we have her alongside the Large Monster Series Godzilla 2019 and Yuji Sakai Godzilla 1984. Then we have an Ultra Act Nexus and Figuarts Ultraman Taiga for contrast. Overall, I like this figure. Again, having been released in 2014, these are very hard to come by. The only other one available on Mandarake is Jean, and he's 300 before shipping. I'm disappointed with the ankle articulation and ab crunch. Being 30cm figures, I think it would be quite easy to make a second articulation cut at the chest and set them both on ball joints. I'd love for Medicom to take a hint from Tamashi and upgrade the ankle articulation. Give us some ankle rockers, because that definitely would have allowed these figures to stand without the support arm. Maybe the engineering has improved since then, though. It has been 6 years. Toe hinges would have been nice too, but I like it, I swear. Addition, I scripted and filmed this review the day I opened the box and played with the articulation, so by the time of this review's release, you know where this stands from my 2020 figure haul video. One final thought is the gap between the head and swappable hair parts is a bit glaring, but it can be hidden with clever positioning on the shelf. A Titan, attack!
I think you're in the wrong franchise.
I'm a woman who enjoys watching men in latex suits fight each other and destroy miniature cities and get a dopamine rush for them. Oh.